Hello, I'm Steve. A little about myself. I'm a retired law enforcement officer with 20 years of service. I began my career in the jail, worked the road, and became an investigator. During my career, my training consisted of everything from SWAT to becoming a state certified crime scene technician. I've investigated crimes from thefts to homicides. After retiring and becoming aware of true crime and web sleuths, I started my channel for web sleuths to better understand the perspectives of law enforcement. Not only do we cover true crime, I go out into the field and assist families who have lost loved ones to homicide and their cases are considered cold. Join me as we look and bring attention to these critical cases. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're able to join us tonight. Um, for anyone that's joining us for the first time, absolutely we're glad to have you here. And as always, in chat, enjoy your time here and be respectful of families, the mods, and each other. Well, tonight, Mrs. Steve is not with us, and normally she sits here beside me and helps control, or doesn't help control. She absolutely does all of the questions and the chat. She's not feeling well, so we're going to miss her a lot tonight, as people will absolutely uh, let you know that she is a great assistant and on my shows, and so I'm going to be facing a few obstacles I normally don't have to, but just bear with me, and we will get through the show. I'll during my slide presentation. Normally, we go through the whole slide presentation and then jump back forth to the chat area. That won't be the case tonight. I'll be going from the slides to chat, trying to keep up, and we'll see how that works. But anyway, I appreciate everyone being here. Um, we're going to be discussing Amber Crum tonight. This is a case that is over 40 years old, and it is never was a mainstream um, situation of that the world has focused on, like a lot of the uh, current crimes that's on the YouTube and in the mainstream media, but it deserves just as much attention as any of those. We're talking about a 2-year-old that was robbed of their chance at life, and we have to pay attention to it. And it's eh, in as far as involving my channel and me, it's an extremely important case because this is the first um, family that reached out to me. Larry Crum contacted me, and when I spoke to him about and he explained to me the situation, and that I was the first law enforcement officer in many many years, other than with the Dallas Fort Worth law enforcement and the state of Texas that had ever reached back and spoke to him. And so with that, I absolutely have built a great relationship with Larry, and it will last both our lifetimes. And I absolutely want to bring justice for Amber. And this is a chance that we can go answer some questions. If it's the questions that need to be answered, and if we can find her remains, absolutely it will have a great impact on justice for Amber. So, with that being said, before I get too far in, let me go through chat and see if there's any questions yet. Try to keep caught up on before we start doing some of the slideshow stuff. All right, got a lot of good people in here that I see as in normal, and good to see everybody in here tonight. Just looking for some questions right quick, and there's been a lot going on today. I've been answering uh, through emails, text messaging, to my private investigator in Texas numerous times, trying to find a rally point that as everybody trickles into Texas on Sunday, where we can all meet and try to keep up on everything. Um, and so the logistics of trying to work out where everybody can stay in a safe environment prior to going to the residence on Monday and start the searches with this technology is, something that, this is our first one on the road, so I'm sure I'm gonna hit a few bumps in the road, but I'm looking forward to it. Um, and, um, and I see that, our, scientist is in the, is in chat. Excellent. Glad to see you here. Good to see Copper. Good to see you here also. Thank y'all for everybody for, the good wishes, Mrs. Steve. She worked extremely hard, and for whatever reason, um, um, she started feeling bad this evening, which I hate. Let's see. Okay. All right. Susan says, "Can you give us a rundown of this case real quick?" Absolutely. Um, this is a case. Let me pull up the next slide here. Oop, uh, that occurred in 1983, December the 26th, day after the Christmas, of where a Amber Crum was reported abducted from the truck that her boyfriend of her mother had taken her to the store during the worst ice storm in Dallas, Texas history in the last 40 years. And while he went into the store and left her in the vehicle outside, he came out and discovered or reported that she had been abducted. Um, After reporting it to law enforcement, and they came out and done the investigation, and it turned out um, that there's a possibility the abduction was something that was staged due to that the mother at one point informed law enforcement that Amber, the night before the reported abduction, appeared to be lifeless in her bed, facing the wall, eyes fixed. And of course, law enforcement proceeded to prosecute. It went to court, and the mother changed her story from that uh, that Amber was lifeless to that she had been forced and coerced to make that statement. And of course, the charges were dropped against her boyfriend. And that's where we stand today. That Amber has never been seen since uh, um, December 25th and 26th of 1982. Like I said, it's 40 years old. All right. Let me get it. I hope that got everybody at least updated of where what we're talking about. All right. Um, do you believe she was passed away by Christmas Day? Absolutely, Katrina, for the fact that what mother and how would law enforcement ever coerce in a description by a mother of that the child is laying in bed, cold to the touch, eyes fixed, in a lifeless manner. That is not something that any mother would just easily roll over and say, "Yes, that's what I saw." Um, and then, of course, there was some support, other testimony on her part about creating, and there's and that's the thing when you're doing interviews, the small details that individuals include are indicators of truth, such as, of course, you may be able to try to create a lie, but sometimes with these small details, you can see that that can only be based and it would only be coming from some type of memory, such as the next morning, the boyfriend got up and washed her clothes, the bed clothing, something he had never done before. And that is not something that you would just throw in on something unless you had uh, actually experienced something of that nature, that he was doing something he had never done before. And so, law enforcement, we look at that and we try to find those little supportive parts uh, of the interview that uh, says that that was part of their life, or something that they uh, actually experienced. So, yes, I think she was deceased the night before. All right. Let me see if I can get in through here. Now, if I skipped some of this stuff, I apologize, but I'll try to keep up with it the best I can. Like I said, I've been getting everything packed, did a bunch of arrangements today, um, and, yes, this is the first case that Chris and I are gonna meet on in Texas, and we got some other cases we're looking at in Texas, but this is the one that, we're absolutely gonna be, boots on the ground and trying to, get some answers. Adventurous, spirit, um, $10. I'm sorry to hear Mrs. Steve is under the weather. Please enjoy a cup of coffee on me. Absolutely, thank you. We appreciate all y'all's support. It means a lot. Let's see, anything else in here? Law enforcement, um, no, there's no proof of the abduction, because when you look at it and you're looking at an ice storm, roads, everything's froze over. This isn't something that, you would expect at a local small store on the out fringes of Dallas-Fort Worth area, small community. Now, there's always a possibility of a crime of opportunity, but, uh, typically, criminals don't, do certain crimes unless there's a easy, way to, get away. In a ice storm and everything, that's probably not the, greatest, thought process of a criminal. But, there was a witness in the parking lot that, advised that he was in the parking lot when the individual reported that he pulled into the parking lot with Amber. He says that no one approached the vehicle and that he never saw Amber in the vehicle, and he testified that in court. In, court, for whatever reason, when they mother throwed returned the, her, statement in her name's agreed, that he, dismissed his testimony and went with the, what the mother was saying, and, but, no, there was no one that actually, witnessed the abduction. Thank you, Bible group. I'm glad we all drink coffee here. But, yeah, we're, I think Chris everybody's probably from each of these destinations, from Illinois to Utah to, Indiana, and then I'm leaving, Georgia. We're all gonna be leaving sometime, Saturday, arriving at our rally point outside of, Dallas on, Sunday, or hopefully. And, I agree. The ice storm really helps narrow down a lot of things with this case. Um, and, it, absolutely does restrict some of the areas. And even, some other good news is that, Larry told me today that he spoke to Bill Deere, who is the original, private investigator that handled the case, who has great insight into the case, and, we're gonna meet with him also while we're in Texas, and, uh, he's elderly, so, I'm gonna probably try to go and get him and pick him up, see if he wants to come over while we do the search also. So, there's a lot of things to do, while we're in Texas, but with Chris's help, which I couldn't do this without, um, absolutely, will, help in so many different ways. And then, of course, our scientists, Carolyn, stepping up to the plate and, often offering her expertise, something that we wouldn't be able to do without. Hopefully, the volume isn't breaking up. Okay, Dave, $4 super sticker. Thank you for your, support, Dave. And if I miss anybody, I apologize on that. Like I said, normally Mrs. Steve is here. Dave, just in case you need a emergency coffee. And, Kamala Nars, blue light special, please. That, one witness still alive? If not, can they pull their sworn, testimony? That witness is that was in the parking lot is now deceased, but, we do have access to the court records, and, we have that, and I look forward to putting new eyes of my group, on the, records that Bill here has, um, so I'm looking forward to, that information because, he was boots on the ground at the time, he spoke to people firsthand and through the neighborhood, and his investigations paralleled what law enforcement was doing, so, within his records will be a wealth of information. Thank you for your, support. Come on. Did the mother give an initial report that indicated Amber had passed in the night or was cold and unresponsive? And that was a little bit of play. Cold and unresponsive, eyes fixed. What does that mean? There's a several different ways, of course. What mother would allow their child to stay in that state? And of course, it's not absolute. She's not a medical examiner. The description of cold and unresponsive, um, and eyes fixed. So there will always probably be a lot of debate. What does that mean? But now that she's missing and hasn't been seen in 40 years, uh, with that supporting evidence, I think it is more towards that she was deceased at that time, especially with the, supporting evidence that she said that he was wearing bed clothing and, doing something he had never done in their relationship prior to. Um, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's probably me backing away from the mic. Hopefully, that will adjust. Um, like I said, I'm probably a little bit distracted here trying to get everything, um, hopefully it gets fixed. I have a blue light special for something. I don't know what I missed, but, Chris did something. I don't know what Chris did. Thank you, Chris. Oh, okay. Chris did, 5 memberships. Thank you, Chris. That's very nice of you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm running 2 pages at once right now and, going back and forth. So the Google machine, you will find out I'm not the expert on this. This will do nicely. Yes, Mrs. Steve deserves a big hug for everything that she does. And, of course, um, support with, staff of that, Kristen is doing a, live on Fig's Cousin. Didn't want you to miss it. Absolutely, guys, go over there tonight and, support Kristen and especially, Fig's cousin who was a victim of a homicide. And glad to see Ruckus is in the house. Hope that, I look forward to working with him also. Were her bed sheets ever taken as evidence? I don't know what all law enforcement took from the residence, or left at the residence. Um, of course, if he was washing the sheets and everything, I would assume they took them or took whatever clothing, and hopefully they did, and the mattress also. But back then, in the early '80s, CSI was not, what it is. We didn't start hearing about the, state certifications and CSI programs until the late '80s. DNA was something that was very, very, in the initial stages, and so I just don't know how far along. Whenever we get to the, records that the, private investigator has, uh, uh, William Deere, uh, I'll have a clearer understanding of all that, law enforcement did. I hope I don't sound like a robot. I apologize for that if it is so. Kathy Cat, yes, you'll probably have to go back to the, beginning because 'cause I'm by myself tonight, but it's about, Amber Crum, who was, reported abducted in 1982 in Dallas, Texas area, and, never been seen since, and, there was, the boyfriend of the mother reported her, abducted from his vehicle during a severe ice storm, um, in, the day after Christmas in 1982, 1983, I'm sorry. Amber was 2 years old. Yes, and there is, articles about that, that she was, but the fingerprints didn't match, and, um, I don't know if they ever identified that victim or not. Is Amber's mother still with this man? No, she is not. And both of them, boyfriend and mother, are still alive. That is correct. Whoop, got too many buttons. I apologize. I don't know how to, um, let me, okay, how about now? Give y'all a couple seconds. How about now? Is it good? Okay. All right. So hopefully, I did some, um, computer whiz. I'm sure at any time now, uh, Bill Gates will contact me to help work on his computer systems. Yeah, if I ever work on anyone's computer system, that would be absolutely all right. All right. Hopefully the sound's a little bit better. I had to get out of the YouTube part of it, and I think that might have been just overloading the system. I don't know. Um, uh, I will be leaving Saturday from Georgia and traveling overnight and trying to get into Texas sometime Sunday afternoon. And I think Chris is leaving Saturday also. I know he's been packing all day. I spoke to him a couple times today, as I've spoke to just about everybody I could, trying to get everybody um, or as organized as we can. All right, and Mike, I appreciate your support. Thank you for your support. And uh, let's see. Has a boyfriend gotten into similar trouble or accusations in the last 40 years? Seeing if it was him, there'd be other history. I don't know. I haven't looked into his criminal history, um, and I don't know. There was reports of abuse by him on Amber at the time, by the family members, even in court, of where it was reported that she had certain injuries. And you're right that typically individuals that are abusive in relationships continue to be abusive in relationships. Is there any DNA in this case or other? I can't decipher that last part, but no, there's no DNA that I'm aware of in this case. Hopefully, we'll find some. Um, he had access to the property for months, even after. So it's a long time that he could have done a lot of things. And could there even be that when we go and do the search of where she may have been um, um, first hidden and then transported or transferred to another location? Absolutely, that is possible. But hopefully, with this technology, we will be able to identify certain areas. And if so, if law enforcement goes in there, because there's certain things that happens to the soil as a body in decomposition that might be something that law enforcement could use even this long after. We just don't know until we get there and analyze. Let's see. I'm getting caught back up. I'm trying to get caught back up, guys. Yes. So I've got sound now. Oh man, how does this stuff work? And how do these people get out there? Chris makes it look so easy on his show. Ruckus makes it look easy on his show. Not so much for Steve. Oh goodness. Chevy Metal. So a bear and Chris walk into a bar. Mm-mm-mm. And this is an interesting comment. Uh, for the fact that in the '90s, the current property owner's son was out in the backyard playing, and dug up a certain part of the yard and discovered a what they reported as a child's blanket or quilt and some bones. And does it mean it was absolutely something related to this case? No, there's nothing that's in. I mean, there's a lot of different things that people bury in their backyards as far as blankets and bones. Family pets are a lot of times buried on the properties, but it wasn't done by this family that reported it. And there's only one other family prior to them. And so looking at it from that standpoint and what information and what were those bones, I have no idea. But we're going to go into that area of the yard also because the family, of course, is there and they'll be able to show us that area. And if we find an area that is disturbed that would be large enough to conceal a 2-year-old child, then of course we'll contact law enforcement and let them continue the investigation. Molly, good to see you. Glad you hope you're feeling better. One who sees in trouble with Nightbot. Oh no, we'll get it fixed up. And Josh the Posh, making that Google machine behave, Mr. Steve. Thank you for your support. But yeah, I hope that everything goes well. I hope Larry is absolutely beside himself and is looking forward to this trip. He had he gave me a laundry list of things that he wishes to do this week. And we're going to have several meetings set down with private investigator and even Bill Deere. And so there's a lot of things for us to do. And even when we get back and whatever the scientific findings are, there's still a lot of work that we'll do with the foundation that is supporting this and all the our members and all the donation that supports this um, journey that we're on. Um, that it's just unbelievable that we're in this position that we can have this impact and hopefully get some answers. Yes, Katrina, it's been far too long. Let's see here. Yeah, one who sees Molly's been sick also. So between all my mods, and I see that I'm the common denominator between Jennifer, who was sick and not feeling well, to Molly, to Mrs. Steve now. Um, I don't know if there's a lesson in that or not. And this is our scientist, guys. Hats off to Carolyn. Absolutely couldn't do what they, and she was doing testing today in pre planning to see how small of an area that we're going to be working in because in some of the crawl space and then even outside. And so she's getting everything in order, testing everything, make sure it operates correctly so that when we get there, so my hats off is to this expert that has volunteered their time, their equipment, and their expertise to come out and find her. And I look forward to working with her and Chris on a lot of cases in the future. Yes. Of course, if it was David Elliott Penton, which um, I don't believe it was for the fact of, for several reasons, but I don't believe that he is or should be considered a person of interest because of other information that we have regarding the case. Some of that I can't say now, but at some point we'll address those issues. And, you know, even with the mother's testimony about uh, how Amber appeared the night before. Dave, Mrs. Steve is feeling bad. She doesn't feel well tonight. Your sound is amazing now, Steve. It's the best ever. Thanks. Let's see what's going on. Like again, I thank everyone for the well wishes for Mrs. Steve. Yes, the property owners did agree to the search, and I'm glad of it, and I've thanked them, and we're going to go out and um, of course, there'll be several meetings with them through the week, and um, um, I am, you know, so grateful that they do allow us to come in there and search the property, because there's always that they have the right to say no, but they absolutely also want answers for Amber, and I have to. There were some issues of timing that didn't work out, but now everything is going to be absolutely uh, uh, be answered. Purdue RN, good to see you also. Well, thank you, Cynthia. Yes, the whole team. I admire and appreciate all of them for the fact that there's a lot of work to do, and it will be a team effort out there. There's so much to do, not just because we're going to be working, or some of the members are going to be working in very enclosed, buggy, spider-ridden, snake-ridden. I don't know what all can live under a house in Texas, but uh, but I can do snakes don't bother me. Spiders do. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mrs. This is Molly. Steve, Mrs. Steve says it's all your fault. Mr. Molly says it's all his fault. Cloudy outside, his fault. That is so true. Although when I burned up the grocery, it was my fault last week. Oh man, it better operate correctly. I can't afford to get it fixed in France again. I agree with you. Um, but at some point, I would like to have that exact equipment. And as the foundation grows and as our budget grows, we will be looking at um, your expertise and whatever equipment that we need. Because I'm sure there's upgrades that happen as all technologies. Jennifer on the road again. Oh, Willie. Uh oh. See what's happening. I have. Oh, Copper Horse. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. She gifted 50 memberships. Absolutely. Like I said, Copper Horse she helps so many channels and in so many ways. And without people like Copper Horse, it would be, uh, we wouldn't have the abilities to do a lot of the things that we do. So, absolutely, my hat's off to you. And I'm in awe of your generosity. Thank you. Let's see what else is going on here. And then I have another adventurous spirit, $10. So, um, yeah, I'm off of the YouTube, so I don't get all the information. But absolutely, hats off to everyone that supports us. And if by chance I miss my appreciation for you, I apologize for that. Pre, Paula, you're always nice. I don't know who says that you're not. No, you'll never hear me singing in any type of voice, Chevy. Uh-oh. Uh, she says, I'm definitely mentioned this is going to be Spider City. Okay. Well, ah, I don't know. I'll be outside with the Orkin man or whoever's going to be there that's going to take care of those. And as always, like I said, Ruckus Rocks is prior law enforcement, and I consult with him on things, and he has a absolutely brilliant mind, and I look forward to working on cases with him. And he's part and will be a major part of a roundtable of law enforcement officers that we will collaborate with on and off YouTube on all our cold cases for the fact that uh, people that have been on the streets and have handled investigations, their perspectives are absolutely invaluable, such as Dr. Susan also. And I have a wonderful network of private investigators, professionals that assist me in so many different ways, cop facts, that I have been absolutely amazed and blessed by everyone that has decided to help me. And because I couldn't do it without them, absolutely could not. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of stuff that will be continuing to go on screen and behind the screen. Are you aware that the Amber Alert is the name of another? Yes, I am. I've never made claim that this is for the Amber who was abducted in '96. Yes, I'm aware of that. It's just a coincidence that they're both named Amber. Um, but no, I don't make claim that this has anything to do with Amber Alert. No. Uh, no, if you won't be lonely, you'll be operating it. No, you won't be lonely. Steve hums. No, no, I don't even hum. I turn on the radio. I love listening to music, but I'm just not musically inclined. I'm tone deaf, I think is what they would say. I've been in Spider Valley and Spider Central and Spider Nation. She just names everything Spider. You and Mrs. Steve, who created the true crime web Spider that put behind me. Yeah, I know the matrix is glitching tonight. Ruckus came on and showed me something that I was late, and I couldn't figure it out, and I still haven't figured out what that glitch was. And once again, this is where the expert comes in about supporting technologies and supporting equipment. And we've already discussed that in case we have something that if we need supporting or a plan B, um, she already has made contact in Dallas Fort Worth area. And so um, with that technology is also available. If we find something, we'll be able to verify with a another technology. And Joanne Jackson, $2.99 super sticker. Thank you. Appreciate it for your super sticker. Absolutely appreciate it, Joanne. Oh no, everything helps. Absolutely everything helps. Don't ever, regardless of how people support this channel through views, comments, thumbs up, sharing, all of it plays a part of this machine. That as our channel grows, we couldn't do it without you. And absolutely, I'm in awe of anyone and everyone. Thank you. And uh, we have people that support this channel through super chats. They support us through PayPal. They support us through the True Crime Web Foundation. And the foundation, if anyone wants to donate with tax benefits, you can go to the True Crime Web website, truecrimeweb.com, and there's a page on there where if you want any tax benefits, it will do it through that. And we thank everyone that does that also. Brenda Bergamot, $5. Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. But yes, like I said, you can donate through um, uh, any way you want to. More money comes through on the PayPal, but and then also on the True Crime Web Foundation, which is on our website. But any way you wish to support this channel, we appreciate in so many different ways. But thank you. This is what we have to. This is our scientists talking about working in historical cemeteries, and when we're talking historical cemeteries, we're talking about graves of that are truly historical, and finding old records and finding persons, and through bedrock, sinkholes, aquifers, lost foundations, forgotten cisterns too, and so her technology is able to locate all these anomalies in the earth, and so we absolutely believe that it can have a great impact as we move forward looking for these victims. Because we got other cases that we'll be using the same technology. And Donna Walters, $4 super sticker. Absolutely, thank you. Appreciate your support. And I've got to get the blue light on for you. And I hope I didn't miss too many people on our on the donations part. All right. But anyway, like I said, I want to thank Chris for coming on board and um, the collaboration that we'll have as a channel. Because between our channels and as each of our channels grow and we move out, we'll be able to have a greater impact. And and he's on closer to the West Coast, and so he has the abilities, and he will be after Texas. I don't know how long I can keep him in Texas, but I'm going to try to keep him in Texas on a couple other things while we're there. But as soon as Texas is over, I think he's going to go back home and then come straight back down to Nevada and look for Aiden Clune. We I've got a bunch of equipment that I'll be transferring to him from the True Crime Web uh, Foundation, and so that he'll be able to um, uh, go to the remote campsites and be able to spend the time that's necessary to be boots on the ground with aid Clune search. And absolutely is something that we want to do because not always will I be able to make it on the West Coast like he is, and he won't be able to make it on the East Coast. But we'll be doing a lot of collaboration as we move forward. And yes, I'll check the weather, and we've got good weather all the way up until I think around Wednesday when it's supposed to get cloudy again. But until Wednesday, we got some good weather, I think. Mike D, a few go dots for the road. Be safe. $5. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mike D. Yes, Anna, you're absolutely correct. I spoke to the private investigator in Texas today, and I said, "What is the one thing that you think I need to bring?" And she said, "Bug spray," and so mosquito spray mostly for the fact that evidently this is a bad time of the year for the mosquitoes. So I will absolutely. Um, bring everything necessary to protect all the individual as they explore these hidden areas. And of course, whatever we have to buy as far as the equipment to protect them, we will. Uh, but yes, taping everything up so that these critters can't get into areas that you don't want them having access to. Um, we don't want anyone to get anything because here in Georgia, ticks can carry some very bad things. Need any backup dancers? No, but I have a great supporter of mine that has sent me several links to um, uh, the dancing, uh, and so I've watched them, and I'm absolutely, and that's regarding the Missy Beavers case. That we were looking at, and some people made some comments about the offender possibly having some dancing training. And I looked at that, and I have never looked at dancers in that manner of how athletic they are. And when you look at that, a fitness instructor versus a dancer, both of them are going to be in excellent health and have stamina and strength that um, you would easily underestimate. Yes, officials do nicely. I hope that we do have an impact on this. Mob Crew says no ticks. Great mention, Anna. So Mob Crew's on the same page with you, Anna. He doesn't want any ticks. Yes, there was a trial. Law enforcement brought charges against him, went to court, and when the mother flipped her testimony from saying that Amber was deceased to that, well, no, she wasn't, and law enforcement has coerced her into making those statements. It was thrown out of court, and uh, the individual who was charged was released. Anna Sweden, super sticker, $19. Thank you. Appreciate your support, or whatever 19 is in whatever currency that is. I have, I take it's somewhere from Sweden. I look like your favorite uncle. Excellent. Need to get your favorite uncle on line with me. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna buy whatever I need to keep the mosquitoes and the bugs off of me. They like me. If there's a mosquito within 100 miles, they get on the train and come see me. Yes, Amy J. Yes, thank you for thanking everyone for the donations and that you are now a member. Glad to have you on board. And Anna says out there they have the Rocky Mountain fever. Um, Here we have a lot of the Lyme and stuff that they carry. I don't know what in Texas. I have no idea what the major uh, disease that they carry in Texas. Yes, I know more about ballet dancing. I've learned more in the last 48 hours than I ever, um, and I have a new appreciation for those people that can do that. And I found it extremely interesting. Yes, I agree um, um, with Kamala about the uh, uh, being an athlete to be a dancer. Absolutely. Uh, let's see what else is going on here. I appreciate everybody being in chat tonight. It's absolutely amazing. And I wanted to come in and give everybody a heads up of where we was and what was happening. And this will be my last show, other than what will happen on the road. Saturday we won't have a show. Sunday we won't. Um, um, we may. I'll have to get with Chris and get with the team and see what we if everybody is recovered or able to um, uh, get some rest. We may have a show sometime Sunday night just to give a heads up to everybody that we're there, everybody's safe, and we're ready to go and um, do whatever it takes to be successful. I become a pretty good dancer and martial artist when I run through a spider's web. Me and you both. Um, I'm trying to think. Have I ever been? I know I had to go to a Waffle House at some time during my travels in Texas. I just can't place it. But I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know if Waffle House would let us, but we might try that. All righty. We've been on almost an hour tonight, and I've got a lot of packing to do. And we appreciate everybody that's been here tonight. And there's some other creators coming on. And like I said, I want to thank Carolyn, and of course Chris, Ruckus, everyone that plays a part, Copper Horse, all my mods, everybody that has made this channel what it is today. With who without I couldn't, and absolutely appreciate all the support and all the emails and links and information that y'all give me, because we wouldn't be where we're at today without you. And but anyway, guys, I'm gonna sign off and try to go see if Mrs. Steve needs anything, because she is feeling poorly tonight. And once again, I want to thank everybody for what y'all do. Y'all stay safe out there, and I hope to get with y'all Sunday and Monday. Um, and if I can get Chris to figure out the technologies on the road for us. But y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all soon.